Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know have to do it every single time because it's important. I want everyone who wants to be a part of this terrific community have an opportunity to do so. Yes, we are the best on these internet streets. And if you want to be a part of it, it is so simple. All you have to do is go down in your settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give you a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the bees, that algorithm. Yeah, I'm gaining ground. I am, and I am so thrilled about it. And it's all because of y'all. Y'all keep coming through with the thumbs ups, and I appreciate it. I really do. And you know what else I appreciate? I appreciate all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all are doing such a great job as usual. And I just want to say thank you, thank you. Y'all are so appreciated. Y'all really are. And over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I would be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, that is easy as well. Look down there, find that super thanks button. Go ahead and click it. And if you choose to donate to the channel, all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some super thanks. We have some shout outs. And first up is my girl, faithful Yulette. Yulette is just the best. She is. That's the only way I know to describe her. She is always riding hard for the read. She is a ride or die. She never fails. She is always there. She never misses when she's in the comments. She is the best. And I am so grateful that she is a part of this community. So thank you, Yulette. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being here. And Kino Najari came through. Yes, she did. Kino is the best as well. I'm telling you, Kino has not been with me long, but since she has been a part of this community, her presence has been felt. She is always in the comments. She's always supporting. She is just always so kind and faithful, and I'm so grateful and so thankful she decided to be a part of this community. She has made it better just by being here. So thank you, Kino. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Patrika Smith came through. Yes, she did. Patrika has been with me for a while, and boy, does she ride hard. She does. She ride hard for the read, and I am so grateful and so thankful that she chose this community because Patrika, she is just chef's kiss. She is. She is in the comments. She is always faithful and supporting, never wavering. Never wavering. So thank you, Patrika. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Beverly Jackson 6875 came through. Yes, my girl Beverly decided to come through, and she is always coming through and being so faithful and just riding so hard for the read. I appreciate her so very much. Beverly is always in those comments, and let me tell you, her comments are just so on point. I am just so happy and so grateful that she decided to be a part of this community. It is so much better because of her, and she knows it, and I know it. So thank you, Beverly. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Tiger Mommy came through. Yes, Tiger Mommy. She is everything. And she knows she's everything. Tiger Mommy is the best. She has rode with me for a long time. Yes, Tiger Mommy has been with me for a while. And let me tell you, she is unwavering in her support when it comes to the read. She never fail. She's always coming through, and I appreciate it so very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for keep riding with me. You have never failed. You always ride with me, and I appreciate it so very much. And Cat Harlem came through. Yes, cool, cool, cool. Cat Harlem. She came through again. And let me tell you, Cat is the best. She is. She's smart. She's funny. She's insightful. She is everything. And I am so happy and so grateful that she is a part of this community. Now, I'm telling you, Kat is just everything. She is. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Kat. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. Yes. All right, y'all. I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to my girl Yulette, Kino Najari, Patricia Smith, Beverly Jackson 6875, Tiger Mommy, yes, Tiger Mommy, and Cool Cool Cat Harlem. Yes, thank y'all so very much. Y'all are everything. And when I say that, I mean that because y'all are the people who keep me going. I have said this in past podcasts that, it can get a little bleak out here on these internet streets, but y'all make it all worthwhile knowing that you appreciate what I do because I appreciate what you do. You make up such a wonderful community, and I'm so thankful, so grateful for each and every one of y'all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, y'all, these streets are they got me cackling. They do. The level of desperation that family and those flying monkeys are at is just delicious. It is. And they got their narrative going. They do. And if you know anything about that family and about those flying monkeys, you can see exactly what it is. And we're going to talk about it. We all knew that this was how it was going to go. Nobody swallowed that pantomime that they put on the other day with Andrew. Anybody who knows that family knows that that was nothing but a fake out. Yes, in football they fake your head. No, it's that basketball. They fake the head and pretend like they're going one way when they're actually going the other one. They call it a fake out. That's exactly what that family did. And the government was in on it. I believe they coordinated together, and this is what they came up with to try to appease the people and try to save just a shred of dignity for that family over there. So, yeah, we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about where Beatrice and Eugenie is up to. Yes, they have went underground, but we going to root them out. And we got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about, but I'm not going to keep y'all long. But lock in, I promise you, I will keep you entertained. So we're going to start with this. And this is from Sussex Community Events, and it says Prince Harry is inviting nominations for the Well Child Awards 2026 in a heartfelt video message. These awards honor the remarkable journeys of seriously ill children in the UK and celebrate those who go above and beyond to transform their lives. Yes, hashtag Well Child Awards 2026. It's that time again, and I am loving it. Harry is just carrying on. Yes, he is. He is paying them no mind because everything that he has said is coming to fruition, and he has nothing left to say. There he is, looking good, looking well rested and moisturized, and carrying on with his life. I love it, and I love it for these children. You know, I think I put it on past podcasts where Well Child left X because of the derangers, those ugly old hags, the bitter ones. Yes, they were even attacking this children's charity, but they don't seem to understand, like that family doesn't seem to understand. Harry and Meghan, they're bulletproof. They are never ever going to allow anybody to stop them from moving forward. And I just love this. I do. And I'm so happy that we are going to be seeing Prince Harry doing Well Child soon. So, yeah, this was a lovely, lovely surprise. And I want to switch gears because I want to talk about the flying monkeys and what they're up to. They are so butthurt. They are. All of their efforts to cloak and to cover up for that family and prop them up has added up to be naught at this point. They have not been successful at any turn to do what they wanted to do, and that was to destroy Harry and Meghan and to elevate that family. And somehow it has gotten all twisted up. It is not Harry and Meghan being destroyed, it's that family destroying itself. And I just love it. But they keep on keeping on. They keep on trying. And look at this. This was posted by Squatty, and this was in the Spectator in Australia. And look at this. It says the narcissism of Meghan Markle. Yes, they keep on trying, don't they? This Squatty said, like a clockwork. Yes, they absolutely keep on churning it out. But I'm thinking this already was, in the works prior to everything happening with Prince Andrew, because they could not think that this dog right here was going to hunt. Not after everything that has gone down with Andrew. I mean, it's embarrassing at this point. They could not be serious. I'm saying, aren't you embarrassed? I am embarrassed for you. I have secondhand embarrassment at this point. This magazine, this article had to be already gone to print prior to what happened with Andrew this week. It had to, because to be this tone deaf, to be this dumb, I am trying to give you some grace and say this had to happen prior to Andrew. Because if it happened after, y'all are y'all absolutely do not care about embarrassing yourself at this point. And while this same online magazine, I assume it's online, I don't know if you can get a hard copy of it or not, but I digress. I could care less. This same magazine that is calling Meghan a narcissist. Let's go back. It says the narcissism of Meghan Markle. This is what Brendan O'Neill wrote. Well, look. This is what Brendan O'Neill then wrote about Andrew after everything had went down. This is the title of the article. It says, "The hunting of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has gone too far." Now, he doesn't think the hounding and the smearing and the ridicule of Meghan has gone too far, even to the point where she wanted to unalive herself. They never thought it had gone too far because they wouldn't have thought it had gone too far even if she had ended up taking her own life, because that right there was the goal. But I digress. Yes, now we're getting into what their narrative is going to be. Back off of him because of his mental health. Have we gone too far? He is very, very fragile, and on and on and on. None of this kind of grace for Meghan. Not at all. Meghan was begging for help, no grace. And if you think all those flying monkeys over there didn't know what was going on with Meghan, I have a bridge in San Francisco to sell you, because they all knew, but they kept on keeping on as much as they could because this is what that family wanted. And of course, they wanted to do what that family wanted them to do. They really thought they all had the power to destroy this one woman, and they went about doing it with no mercy, no kindness, and no conscience. Yes, they did that, but all of a sudden, we're supposed to have mercy. We're supposed to have conscience. We're supposed to care about Andrew. Isn't that something? This is the narrative they want. They want to be able to get their head out of this noose that they have created for themselves, that family. And the way they want to get out of it is through mental health. Well, all I can say is this: why you have so much compassion and so much empathy for one family member, but not the other one? You can be the most evil, treacherous, uncaring bunch in this world when it comes to Meghan. But when it comes to him, everybody should have some kindness and empathy for him. This is what this man wrote. He said, "The first thing the mob kill is its own humanity." Mm. What was that same humanity when it came to Meghan? The one that you just got through calling a narcissist. Yes, you just got through in an article. You just got through talking about how she was a narcissist, continuing to smear her, continuing to absolutely ridicule her and tear her character down. But all of a sudden, this man who has done nothing to deserve any kind of empathy when it comes to having sex with children, because that's exactly what he is accused of. That's exactly what he's accused of. But yet and still, this woman who has done nothing to anybody should have less mercy than a man who is actually having sex with children. These people need to take several seats and understand what they're trying to peddle out here in these streets, because it makes them look ridiculous. Ridiculous. It says, talking to us about humanity, preaching to us about humanity when they have never showed any humanity for anybody else except themselves. And it says, long before they sink their collective claws into the target of their flopping air, they laid waste to their own dignity. We see this in digital hounding of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Can you believe this man actually wrote this and had the audacity to attach his name to it? What a pedo sympathizer. And from this point on, that is what he should be known as. I wonder how he would feel if it was his daughter his son, his small child that this man took advantage of, his young daughter. I mean, get out of here. These people will make you curse on your podcast. I have to absolutely tamp my anger down to keep from cursing every other word when it comes to the audacity of these people. He says, behold the ugly gloating over a man's downfall. Witness the peddling of false accusation. The shame right now belongs less to Andrew than to those who have made a blood sport from his troubles. Can you believe he actually signed his name to that? I mean, it's unbelievable. Never even thinking about. They had children on this island, 6, 7, 8 years old, torturing them. And this man watched a video of them torturing a small child, and he had no problems with it. He relished in it. He continued his relationship with the man who did this. And that's why I said Earthlock is forever tarnished. Nobody cares anything about Earthlock. You took torture money. But I digress from that fool and say this. This man right here should forever be shamed. Brendan O'Neill should forever be shamed. He is just as bad as Andrew. He is just as bad as JE. He is just as bad as GM. He is just as bad as that Sultan who did that whole torture video and sent it to JE. They're all just as bad because one participated in it and the other ones enables it. They're equally accountable for the torture and ape of these young children. I cannot with these people. And of course, people got in the comments and lit him up like he needed to be lit up. And this squatty said, what about his victims? What about their humanity? You are vile. He is. And have no qualms with taking up for this vile man and becoming as bad as he is. Don't get it twisted. The reason all of this continued to go on for so long was because of the enablers, because of the sympathizers, because of people like Brendan O'Neill, someone who is willing to make the victims the villains and the villains the victims. None of this would have happened or would have been able to come about if it wasn't for people like Brendan O'Neill. People who are willing to turn a blind eye. Person who's willing to absolutely try to justify this kind of behavior. I mean, unjustifiable behavior. He is somehow justifying that and asking us to have some sympathy for the man who perpetrated it. And I want to say this about the JE files. I believe everything in them, and I'll tell you the reason why. People are their true selves when they don't think that they're going to be found out. And while they were writing these emails back and forth, they had no idea that these emails were going to become public. So they were their true selves. They were telling the truth. They were talking truthfully to each other. So we know that what is said in here, I believe, is the truth. They were torturing young girls, small children. And we all know that it's allegation of cannibalism, baby farming, all kind of heinous things. Torturing a small child, 6 or 7, I think they said 6 to 8 years old. And he wants us to have sympathy for him. I have none. I have none. Even if I saw a video of him being tortured, I wouldn't have any sympathy for him. I would say now he knows how that baby felt. Because let's not get it twisted. A 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, they are babies. And here's some more comments that came under that post. This one says, yet it's okay for you to continuously hound the successes. Practice what you preach. And the next one said, you and your media pals set the stage for relentless hounding with the way you treated Harry and Meghan with the support of the royal family. Gross hypocrisy for you to complain now that it backfired on one of your untouchable chosen ones within the fold. Where is the lie about that one? Because it has badly backfired on them and they don't know what to do with themselves. I wish they would ask me what to do with themselves. I would have a very good answer. I'm just saying. And this other one said, the shame is you and the rest of the media that preach sympathy for Andrew, but never gave a thought to sinking your collective claws into his nephew's wife and being responsible for the online mob to think it's okay for them to hound her. Where is the lie? Where is it? They created this mob. I believe they intentionally created this mob. And then they pay them. They pay them through bot activity. They do. You cannot make me believe that Little Tooth Big Tooth gets as many views as she does. And all the rest of those ugly old hags. That is bot activity. People are watching those videos, being paid to watch them in order for Little Tooth, Big Tooth, and all the rest of those people to get paid. All of the trolls, all of the derangers, all of the ugly old hags who have podcasts and YouTube channels and Instagram pages and on and on and on. They are paying them for the hate. Now, that's my opinion. I have no proof of it, but nobody can shake me from that belief. I'm just saying. And then this other person came and said, he abused young girls, demeaning them. He tried to make it like Virginia G was mentally unhinged. Exactly. Y'all remember that? They were saying that she was crazy. She didn't know what she was talking about and just dismissed her right straight out of hand. But it didn't work, did it? But they tried it. They tried it. It says, he demeaned palace workers, calling them imbeciles or fat lordy C words. He is a nasty bully who deserves every morsel of his comeuppance. I hope some of them will be his prison guards. I would love that. I would love it. And the last one says, he is not worth defending. What about the victims? They have watched for years as their pain has been dismissed. Where is the lie? I mean, totally dismissed and looked down upon as if they didn't even deserve justice because he was who he was and they were who they were. And now here he is looking like he is absolutely looking for a slap in the morgue. That picture is absolutely devastating. And all I can say is I hope it gives some kind of pleasure and some kind of feelings of relief to the victims to know that he is now the one who's suffering. And I'm going to put this up because this is Emily Andrews. Yes, Emily Andrews was on television with no makeup on and glasses. I almost didn't recognize who she was without her clown makeup on. But yeah, she was on, what is it, Sky News? She was there falling in line to the narrative that that family over there has created. All the flying monkeys are falling in line. The whole narrative is that you should feel sorry for Andrew, not for his victims, for him, because somehow he's been punished enough. All I can say is if this was a regular person who had did all these heinous things, would you really think that they had been punished enough just because they took a ride down to the local police station? Stop it. These people, this particular squatters said, Emily Andrews, where was all this sympathy and understanding for Harry and Meghan, who was also royal and also human, but did nothing wrong? You are despicable. See you next Tuesday. Now, I don't know what this squatter is talking about. See you next Tuesday is about, but I could go without seeing Emily Andrew ever again. I'm just saying. And I also want to put this out. I have been watching a lot of the news coverage when it comes to this from across the pond. And I ran up on one from Talk Television. And it was Kevin O'Sullivan. You know, the one that looks like he need a bath all the time with all that greasy hair on top of his head that you could fry chicken with. Him. And he had on Andrew Lowry. And Andrew Lowry, like I said, I'm not putting a whole lot of stock in what Andrew Lowry has said, but a lot of what he has said has come true and came to fruition. But he said this is all an orchestrated nonsense of Andrew going down there to the police station. They said that this was a full on production because he already had voluntarily said that he would come down to the police station, but they never required him to come. They wanted the big production of them going out there and arresting him and taking him to the police station. They did not want him to come in. They did not want him to come in on his own accord. They wanted the pantomime. They wanted the drama. They wanted the spectacle for the world to try to calm everyone down. This was to feed the wolves. And I said that from the jump. This is going to come out to naught. I saw this panel on GB News and they were talking about how hard it is to prove that someone gave over classified information. How hard it was. It was a lawyer on there, a barrister, and they were talking about the law that entail and where this whole situation, what it falls under. And she was saying that it's so hard to prove. And also she made a point, and I think this needs to be said constantly and repeated. He has not been charged with anything. He has not been charged with a crime. He is just under investigation. He went down there where they came, arrested him, but they did not charge him. He is not charged with a crime. He is just under investigation. And he would have went on his own accord, but they decided to come and show up and make a show of it. Now tell me what y'all think about that. This man is not charged with a crime. He is still Prince Andrew. He's still eighth in line to the throne and in succession. He's still in possession of Royal Lodge because they said it on television. They were over there searching Royal Lodge. Like they really was going to find something. If it was anything to incriminate him, that was destroyed a long time ago. I cannot with these people. So, yeah, it's nothing changed. It's all been performative. We know that family. We know how they move, and I don't understand why people are falling for the okie doke. I will never fall for the okie doke when it comes to this family. Because if you pay attention, they will show you exactly what kind of nonsense they're up to. You just don't pay attention to their head. You have to watch what their feet is doing. That's what my grandmother used to say. If you really want to know what a man is all about, pay no attention to his head, what his mouth is saying. Watch what his feet is doing. And that family's feet is telling us that they are on the bullshit, that they're not doing anything. This was coordinated with the government to try to get all of their butts out of a crack. The people, they wanted to show the people that they were doing something, but in actuality, they were doing nothing. And I'm going to put this up. This was written in the Telegraph because they cannot help themselves. They want to drag Harry and Meghan into this dung heap. They want them to take a running start and bury themselves in it when Harry and Meghan has nothing to do with this. This particular article was written by Victoria Ward, and she is a flying monkey who is completely consumed with her obsession with Harry and Meghan. Everything, everything has to lead her to Harry and Meghan. And she is asking why Harry and Meghan hadn't said anything. Like this is Harry and Meghan's business. This is not Harry and Meghan's business. They are minding their business over there in California in Montecito. They always mind the business that pays them. They have never participated in minding the business of that family since they waved goodbye and showed them the back of their heads. Meghan hadn't spoken on that family in almost a half a decade. So why, oh why, would Victoria Ward think that Prince Harry and Meghan would have any kind of comment or anything to say about Andrew? I mean, it's ridiculous. But I digress. This is what it says. The name of the article is Why the Sussexes Are Staying Quiet Over Andrew's Arrest. It says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have opted not to add their voices to the many who seemingly feel obligated to chime in on Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's cataclysmic arrest and period in police custody. Now, cataclysmic? I don't think so. I would more describe it as performative. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say, but why have they chosen to remain quiet now? They have been quiet for over a half of a decade, at least Meghan has. Harry has only talked about what has affected him. He has never spoke on anything that was affecting that family and didn't have anything to do with him. So she is a liar and she is an instigator and she is trying to drum up some clicks and views. And this is what it says. Victoria Ward points to key extracts from Prince Harry's book, Spare. They are so desperate to try to get something to write about concerning Andrew, they are going back to Spare to get something. I mean, it is ridiculous. These people should be studied how ridiculous they are, how desperate they are, and how obsessed they are with a couple who doesn't give two shikes about them. And the squatty that posted this same article said, Harry and Meghan know you will make it everything about them. That's why they haven't said anything. They have nothing to do with JE. You and the British press and the royal family bullied Virginia Giuffre and covered for Andrew for years. Everything has backfired on you. Now you're desperate to involve Harry and Meghan. Where is the lie? When I tell you the desperation is there, I smell it all the way over here across the pond. And I'm going to put this up because I just found this so interesting. And y'all tell me in the comments if it's true. I don't remember the date that this happened, but this particular squatty says this. Y'all, this is spooky. Yesterday was exactly 666 days since the blood-soaked royal horse escaped 24 April 2024 and ran through the streets of London. Also yesterday, a six-car convoy arrested Andrew on his 66th birthday. That's some weird stuff. Now, I don't think it, I thought it was a 9-car convoy. But I digress on that point. For it to be on the same day that the blood-soaked royal horses got away and was running down the streets of London. Now, I remember that, and that was so creepy. It was just so weird to me, seeing those white horses soaked in that blood. And I don't know, this squatty might be reaching a little bit, but that part right there about it being on the same day, that's a little creepy. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to put this up because this comment is about how when Prince Andrew, left the police station, his royal protection was right there following him. This man who has done so much still had his security, had his royal protection. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't need them. I'm not casting judgment either way. But all I'm saying is the optics. The optics are not good for that family. That this man that has been accused of all these crimes and pretty much has been proven that he has done some scurrilous things, he still has his taxpayer funded security. How in the world are they going to argue that Harry does not deserve security anymore? Because they're supplying security for this man who has brought them to the brink of distinction. I mean, people are talking about them being no more. And even that is not bad enough for them to pull his security. I'm just saying. This squatty at the bottom said, "Are you effing kidding me? Andrew had royal protection. What the F?" Exactly. And that optic of him leaving with that whole entourage that was following him, oh, that was not a good look for the family. It was not. And this particular squatty that posted that squatty and said, "I said it. It was all an act. Andrew is still a prince, still in the line of succession, still a counselor of state, still receiving tax funded protection, still exactly as he was before this picture was released. They played to the public. He's been cut off, but nope." Yes, the optics say no. You know what I said earlier? They mouth are saying all kinds of stuff, but their feet are telling us nothing has changed. And this squatty said, "Manufactured chaos, then pursued Meghan long after she left Great Britain, as if distance itself was a threat to their narrative they needed to preserve. The cruelty, the constant vilification, smears was deployed to bury a scandal to shield themselves from accountability. Unremarkably evil. Where is the lie?" All of the vilification, all of the smearing, all of the tearing down of Harry and Meghan's character was a lot done because they wanted to protect themselves. They did not want accountability. They did not want this to come out. Now, was it all? I do not agree that it was all because of this. A lot of it also was because of jealousy, but they used it. They used it like that old saying, you can kill two birds with one stone. Yes, this was the one stone that they used to kill two birds, which was the jealousy and to hide this scandal and protect Andrew. They used it in order to protect themselves. They used it in order to prop themselves up. They used Harry and Meghan in order to promote themselves and to hide all of their dirt. And I'm going to put this up. This appeared in the mirror, and it looks like a light bulb is starting to flicker in their dark crevices of their minds, and they're realizing that Harry was right. Look at this. It says Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's birthday arrest has shown Prince Harry was right. Who would have thought we would have saw that in the mirror. It says Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested on his 66th birthday on suspicion of misconduct in public office and proves his nephew, Prince Harry, to be on the right side of history. Wow. Who knew? I bet that right there sent chills through the halls of Kensington Palace. You know it did. And this squatty that posted it, it's a repost, said, keeping this receipt for future reference. Exactly. Because we know that they're going to try to resort back to the bullshit. But we have a receipt right here. We do. And the squatty that reposted it said, we know Harry is always right. When it comes to that family, yes, Harry knows them. He knows them. And he has played his hand to perfection when it comes to that family. You cannot say it no different. Harry played his cards to perfection. He did. If he was playing in Vegas, he would be a big, big, huge winner because he is the only one winning from that family at this time right now. And you want to know who else was right and who is also on the right side of history? Well, that would be the Duchess of Sussex. This particular squatty said they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but not willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband, Meghan. A statement that speaks to the deep pain of feeling unprotected. Yes, she absolutely said that. And it rings truer today than it did when she spoke it on the Oprah Winfrey interview. Yes, they were willing to lie for those other members like Andrew, like Willie, like Kitty, like the horse, like Charles, and even Queen Elizabeth II. They were all the lies told to protect them, but not one truth spoken to protect Meghan and Harry. I'm just saying, her and Harry on the right side of history. This squatty said people now see that Prince Harry was smart to leave. Wonderful to see him continuing to do good work. Meanwhile, Prince William should be arrested for protecting Andrew. He knew everything. Where is the lie? He knew everything. And he still participated in the rehabilitation scheme to rehabilitate Andrew. I mean, not one time, not two times, but several times him and Kitty was right there to do their part to try to protect Andrew. They can pretend like it's something different if they want to, but the facts are the facts are the facts, and they will never be able to get around the facts. But yes, I agree with this squatty when they say that Harry was smart to leave, and now they see how smart he was to leave that family. Harry is smart, period. That family has just tried to play him stupid, portray him as dumb, when in actuality, he is the best thing that ever came from that family by blood, ever. And he is the smartest. And I'm gonna put this up. This is a post from BBC Newsnight, and they had a historian on there. His name is David Laguza. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. If not, forgive me, because y'all know I will murder a name. But I digress. And he made such a great point. Now, this is what they were saying and are saying about Charles, talking about the king is acting decisively, the government is acting decisively. But he said the problem with that argument is we've known about this for many, many years. How can you be acting decisively when you have known about this for many, many years? If you don't think Charles and Willie and the horse and the queen, the proper queen, and Kitty, the mannequin, They did not know about this for years and years and years, even when after they had paid the money, they still went about trying to rehabilitate his image. They wanted to try to have him as a working role. They worked and worked trying to save him because they wanted to save him. They did not want none of this to ever come out. And you gonna tell me that the king has acted decisively, that the government has acted decisively? Now you can argue the government, but you cannot argue that Charles has acted decisively. And it says historian David Olusoga is critical on how long it took the king to respond to the allegations of Andrew's misconduct. It took years, years and years and years and years. And you know why? Charles didn't see anything wrong with it because Charles has hung out with pedos all his life, starting with his uncle, Lord Mountbatten, who was a prolific pedo. He was. And he liked little boys, allegedly. So, and let's not forget the priest, and Jimmy Savile. He has had these type of people around him all his life. And so his brother being one was no big deal. The only time it became a big deal is when they got exposed. If all of this just continued to bubble under the surface, Charles would have never, ever done anything. I mean, well, he ain't did much now. And I want to put this up. And this right here, I think this says it all about them wanting Harry and Meghan to say something. This particular squatty said Prince and Princess of Wales, no statement. Prince Edward, no statement. Princess Anne, no statement. Beatrice, no statement. Princess Eugenie, no statement. Zara Tundle, no statement. Peter Phillips, no statement. You use the substances to protect Andrew. Spare us the phony outrage. Where is the lie? Where is it? They are all clamoring for some kind of response from Harry and Meghan, and none of these people, including his daughters, have given an official statement. So I don't understand what is the whole deal with trying to pull Harry and Meghan into this dung heap. But we all know what it is, to try to find a way to scapegoat them, to shift it, to make it about them and not him anymore. Harry and Meghan could, any little thing, they would turn it around and make it about them instead of him. They would be the villains in this whole thing, and they have never, ever done anything close to what he has done. But they would vilify them. And we all know that. That is the reason why they are doing and behaving in the manner that they are. And this squatty said, has Sarah Ferguson chimed in yet? Yes, go track Sarah down. Track her down because it is said she on the run. You know, that's an interesting story right there. Find out where she's at. Get a statement from her and leave Harry and Meghan alone. And I'm going to put this up. This is about Beatrice and Eugenie. And as you can see, it says Andrew's daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, to disappear from royal life after his arrest. It says exclusive. A royal expert believes Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie will disappear from royal life following their father's arrest. Now, I'm telling you, the royal family is thinning out, isn't it? I mean, it is not going to be anybody left. I cannot. Can you imagine who is going to go to Royal Ascot? Who is going to ride in the carriages at Trooping of the Color? Who is going? I mean, it is not going to be anybody. Now we all know Willie and Kitty would be fine with that because they absolutely is just as sick as Charles and his horse when it comes to attention. They want the attention on them. But let's be for real. Even if it's on them, it's really not on them because nobody cares. But yes, it says Beatrice and Eugenie are to disappear from royal life. And the squatty that posted this said the royal family has sent out their mouthpiece to tell the princesses to disappear. It's almost the same way they told Prince Harry and Meghan to hide and stay out of public eye by spreading the lie that Harry and Meghan wanted privacy. Yeah, I agree with this, Squatty. This is all them telling them to go away, hide away. But I'm going to say this. Now, this is just my opinion. As for Beatrice, now Eugenie's husband, he might stick with her because at the end of the day, she is all he has ever had going for him. I don't see their marriage disintegrating. But Beatrice and that Amali Cox or whatever his name is, what is it, Edward or something? I don't know what the guy's name is. But the word on the curb, he is nothing but a male version of Kitty. Yes, a absolute social climber. He is nothing more than a gold digging social climber. That he really, really just wanted to be in the royal family. And now, with all this disgrace that's coming on the House of York, do y'all think he's going to stay? Now, also, the word on the curb was that while Beatrice is crying and going on and hiding out, he was down there in Florida. Yeah, having a good time. Down in Palm Beach. And I'm not just saying that. That's the word on the curb. And I did see a picture. I did see a picture out on these internet streets. And she was nowhere to be seen. So, yeah, Beatrice marriage, I would not bet on that one. Now, Eugenie, yes, because like I said, she is pretty much all he has going for him. But I digress. Y'all know I have to get a little messy. I have to get a little messy, but that is the word on the curb. And I'm gonna put this up. It seems that People Magazine has rang in. I don't know if they leaked to People Magazine about Beatrice and Eugenie, but they had an article in there, and the title was Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie focus after Dad Andrew's arrest is on protecting their own children. Exclusive. Well, how about that? And this squatty came in and said, apparently, People Magazine informed us that Beatrice and Eugenie are focusing on protecting their families and children. But the money her parents got from JE was money from the SEX trafficking scheme. The same money that probably Beatrice and Eugenie had access to and lived a very luxurious life. Virginia Dufresne had kids too. Your father and mother smeared her nonstop. Not one sorry from the two about the victims and their families. Shame on them. No dignity, no ethics, no accountability. Where is the lie? Where is it? They never speak on the victims. They talk about their families. I mean, come on now. It was children being hurt, being misused, being RAPE as young as Beatrice's daughter. And your father and mother was a part of that. And all you can come up with is that you are taking care of your family. That's the best you can do in a statement or to put out there for it to be known. These people always shows themselves. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up because when I saw it, I'm telling you, I cackle. It is the messiness of it. It is the pettiness of it that has me in a chokehold. Look at this. Look what this squatty has done. This squatty said Royal Lodge residents taken in for questioning. Y'all remember they say that Andrew had over 100 teddy bears and they had to be arranged on his bed a certain way. Well, evidently one has gone rogue and is now presently speaking to the police. Y'all, we have to laugh to keep them crying. We do. My grandmother used to say that all the time. So let's have a good laugh. And this particular squatty is so messy and I love it. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.